Hello, everybody. I'm Anthony along with Chris this time, and this is episode 64 of Hard Knock Hawks. And today's episode, we'll be talking about the Hawks approaching the finale of the regular season. There are only two games left in the regular season. The Hawks are currently the fifth seed and only have a half game lead above the Toronto Raptors. As we are recording this, the Hornets lost to the Boston Celtics yesterday, but the Magic won against the Timberwolves today, and the Toronto Raptors won against the Heat um, yesterday. So it's going to be a very close race to the end for the Atlanta Hawks to determine where they're going to be playing in the playoffs. So they could be finished as high as the fifth seed, which they currently are right now, or they could finish as low as the ninth seed, which could basically be the disaster scenario for the Hawks. But basically, the way the Hawks could finish the season ideally is this: if they win one game, they win the Southeast Division, and they will basically be guaranteed a top six seed. If they lose two games, it's going to just be dependent on the seeding for the rest of the teams, and they could finish as potentially as high as the sixth seed, or they could be as low as the ninth seed. But like I said, it just depends on how everyone else is going to finish. We played against the Cavs today. It was a very close game, 122 to 116 loss. Um, Overall, it was a very interesting game. A lot of complaints about the refereeing, a lot of complaints about the rotation. I've seen a lot online. What's your thoughts, Chris?
I mean, it's a really competitive game. You're not going to win many games when your best two scorers are combined for like 7 field goals or something from the field, and take like 30 shots. So it wasn't great. But they really competed. I think JK stepped up for the Hawks. It was good to see him kind of get going. Dyson continued his little 3-point heater, just like at least making one. Nah was solid. But yeah, CJ and Jalen kind of came up short for the team. And I think that was basically the difference. Um, I think they're clearly like tightening up that rotation to kind of figure out what they're going to do in the playoffs because it's coming so soon. But for the Hawks, I think they're still in a good spot, man. They control their fate, right? And I think you saw Quinn really wanted this game because I think that's why you saw Moji play so much.
Uh-huh.
Moji's getting 16 minutes. You know Quinn is serious about the defense for
Yep.
at least a little bit. And it really sucks they lost Jock because I think they would probably have won at least one of these games by now, just because you can rest Onyeka a little bit more, and that makes that rotation a little bit deeper. But yeah, I mean, I think this was a really good season for the Hawks, all things considered. This wasn't even supposed to be a contention year. I tweeted the other day, like the Knicks should be embarrassed about themselves because they were in like a dogfight with a team that basically just hit like the reset button in the middle of the season. And they're a team that went all in, man. They've made
Yep.
massive trades to put that team together. And the Cavs the same. They've made big moves to put that team together. And the Hawks are taking these teams to the wire, bro. And this is a really young team with Jalen Johnson in the first. This is his first time trying to close out a season as a closer. I think that's huge. I think we were talking before about like how everything is going, and like I usually try to have that like long term like at look because it's not like about this season. It wasn't supposed to be, and like it's the John Calipari stuff. I don't know if you remember when he was at Kentucky. Whenever they would lose a game, he would talk about how like, oh, it's better to lose. You learn more from a loss than you do from a
Then win.
win. In situations like this, the Hawks are really trying to learn things, and sometimes if you blow somebody out, you don't actually get tested in the right ways. And this is the type of game where the Hawks are going to have to go back to the drawing board and come up with some solutions to the problems that the Cavs presented. And for Jalen Johnson, that's a really good opportunity, man. If things were too easy, like people talk about, like things with the Thunder, right? In the playoffs last year, they're like, oh, they haven't been tested really all year because they were just walking through people. Then you get into a dogfight in the
with the
playoffs, and
Pacers.
yeah, exactly. And this is a team, the Pacers, that had nothing but dogfights, so they were ready for that. And the Thunder have been walking through people, right? And so Jalen having this adversity now is good for him. I think you've seen Dyson kind of step up to it. I think you've seen Na really like elevate his game down the stretch to help this team win some games. Just crazy performances. So this has all been really good for the team. I joke about like the EXP farming, but like, you know, they're working through a gym right now, man. You know what I'm saying? Like they're actually like really leveling up, and the guys are learning things, and it sucks to lose a game like this, but it's also an opportunity for Jalen to grow. And as long as you learn from it, that's really all that matters for me. They're still going to finish with 45 wins at least. And if you get to 46, you control your fate, right? So that's all you're worried about at this point. And you're going to go out against a Cavs team that you think that you match up well with generally. That's one of the teams before the season even started. That's one of the teams that I wanted us to play, even when they still had Garland. James doesn't change that too much for me. I think what really hurt us was just the big rotation was sapped, and our jump shooters missed some jump shots that they needed to hit. But I think this is a Hawks team that can really compete with the Cavs in a series, and I think they have a really good opportunity to step up next game and show that.
Yeah, I mean, I 100% agree with you because, like you said, like it's better to just learn from a loss especially when you're getting your butt kicked now, so you can just get through that adversity and potentially get a win. Because I mean, I think the Hawks, we saw some stuff. I think some teams are gonna just pull from playoffs. Like I think the Dyson and Jared Allen matchup that I think you saw during this game was, I think, really interesting. I think I think that's gonna be like a really interesting thing that they're gonna have to like really figure out how they're gonna do it within the playoffs, because it really just limited ways for Jalen to like score. Because how am I trying to say this? Like it basically limited how Jalen was able to like drive to the lane, because Jared Allen's like always there. Like he doesn't have like a clear path because Jared Allen's just always just gonna be at the basket, right? So because of that, like how are they gonna like be able to figure that stuff out in the playoffs, So it's gonna be interesting because like I know like previously like the coach of the Cleveland Cavaliers, like I forgot his name. Do you remember his name? I forgot.
Kenny Atkinson.
Kenny Atkinson, yeah. I think he said he treated it like a regular game. Like honestly, I don't think he really did. I felt like I think he felt like he treated it like a playoff game. Like
I haven't looked at the minutes, but yeah. I mean, it was a really competitive game. I think. Yeah. Well, it's a team that Jared Allen is not going to leave the paint in general.
Yeah.
And that's kind of their MO, is they want Mobley and Allen in the paint as much as possible. They were kind of switching everything on the perimeter and just kind of daring us to shoot or drive.
Uh-huh.
And the Hawks are going to have to hit shots in a playoff series. Yeah. And I think when you play a team like that, they're going to run a playoff-like defense against you. And like we've talked about, how you can't like just be transition merchants, right? Because in this game like this, you're gonna have guys on the other side that can hit shots, and they were getting to the free throw line a ridiculous amount. Like that's literally why they lost. But I'm not gonna go into that because we can't control the refs. We're gonna talk about things that we can't control, right? And it was a really good team that basically were trying to force Jalen and CJ to hit tough shots, and they
couldn't do it.
Yeah,
and they couldn't do it.
That's really what it was.
See, and it honestly does worry me a lot because CJ McCollum is like kind of infamously a playoff dropper. So, it's we're relying on him a lot, Like
It's
he's our main guy. He's one of our main guys.
it's kind of fun because CJ is in a position he's never actually been in before. Because
Yeah,
I feel like he's almost our pseudo one, but he's the
yeah,
two because he's off ball. And Dame was the guy that was going to take the big shots for
uh-huh.
the Trailblazers. And Jalen is in a position he's never been in. Dyson, Nah,
I
Double
mean,
O, all these guys are like in brand
I
new
was gonna,
positions.
I
So
was gonna
it's
say
kind
the
of cool.
Pelicans, but like not really because you got Ingram. So I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
no, yeah. I mean, CJ's gonna CJ, right? He's gonna play
yeah,
his game. But he doesn't always have the type of freedom he does have here. And it's a reliance. We need him to do it. So and
uh-huh.
they're embracing it. So it's not like him hijacking anything like it would be in New Orleans where it's Brandon Ingram and Zion, and then CJ
Yeah,
is not giving them the ball. But here Jalen is like, take it, right? So
yeah,
we need CJ to do that. So it'll be interesting to see CJ in a position where he might be empowered a little bit more and have a little bit more freedom. He's definitely going to be big for this team
yeah,
in the postseason. Nah is going to be huge. We've seen him show he's been sniffing 40 in some of these in games, and
yeah,
the amount of threes that he's hit. His mechanics are locked in, bro. It's like I talk about it in an unfun way. Sometimes I'm like, man, he's so confident when he's like on a heater. But like it's like the confidence he has in his jump shot, man. You can see it the way he like holds it, the mechanics. He's worked so hard to get where he is. So I think it's gonna be a really good opportunity for him to hit some shots. It's in the playoffs. You're gonna have to hit shots because it's
yeah,
teams that do the right things in basketball that make it there, especially the top four. They're more often than not, it's gonna be one or two, right? They're gonna blast you on offense and like play enough defense, or they're going to run you up 3-point line. And they're going to protect the rim, right? It's going to be a really solid defense, and you're going to have to hit some tough shots in between. And Jalen has shown some ability to do that. He just didn't really have it tonight. I think good players have bad games. Like
yeah,
Damon was saying that earlier on his stream, right? It is what it is when it comes to that. And that was really kind of a playoff game. Like game one on the road, like that is almost exactly how game one in the playoff series
yeah,
is going to go. But then the Hawks are going to have a chance to have a home game themselves at some point in the series, and that's when you expect to have a chance to get back in the series. So good teams win at home. I know it sucks to lose that game because it's really important to clinch right now, but they didn't rest anybody. They
yeah,
ran their guys, so they were trying to win, and the Hawks had opportunities to win. I think that's why it stings a little bit more because you had like 2 runs at some point. So
yeah,
to let that one get away, but two of your guys fouled out, man. Like at the end of the day, and you're probably not going to win those.
yeah. I since we are talking about a bit about playoffs, a bit like what's your thoughts on like the rotation generally? Because I know I've seen online a lot, especially today. People were complaining about the rotation stuff. Like, hey, we'll just get out of the way about Risa Shea. Like, first off, happy birthday, Risa Shea.
Oh yeah,
it's,
21,
it's,
21.
it's his 21st birthday.
Unfortunately, he's in
And he got
Cleveland.
and he got DMP,
Yeah,
which is
that's it.
crazy.
That's
Yeah,
it.
but like I I get why Quinn didn't play him because he has been very good. So and I mean that it is what it is. Like he's young, he's not good. So I mean, and if you
It's
want the best chance to win in the playoffs, you're not gonna play him right now. I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah. No. Did you have
Because
more?
I was gonna say like my thing is that like there are some. If it was me personally, like I just don't get why Kispert's playing right now. Like it's I just don't think he in this game, like because I had to like rewatch it late because I came home late. It's just even if it was only like 7 minutes, like he wasn't just very good defensively. Like he didn't really do anything. He literally didn't do anything at all. So like even if you could say like he doesn't do anything to mess up, like the Cavaliers were like hunting him a lot. So like a part of me is just like if we were in the playoffs, honestly, I think they should probably just stick to like just straight up 8-man rotation, honestly, and just leave him out, honestly. But
Um, It's complicated. Like
Yeah,
as
it
we
is.
always say when it comes to things like this, I've heard some guys like that have been in playoff situation or playoff series like talk about stuff like that, right? And sometimes it's a matchup league for one,
Yeah,
and teams don't always know exactly what their best matchup is, and they do experiment, especially this time of year. So that's what you've kind of seen that happen with the eighth and ninth man in the rotation. Kind of every game now, it's been like a different two guys for like a
yeah,
different amount of time. But Gabe and JK are the two that are like slowly getting more and more minutes as the sixth and seventh man because they are tightening up for the playoffs.
yeah,
And that eighth, ninth slot is going to be really fluid when it
yeah,
comes to different teams. And it really, they might have numbers that say Corey Kispert has shot like 40% against this team, so he's going to get those 7 minutes tonight.
yeah,
Or in that Zach might not play as well against this team, and maybe tonight they literally could have found out that Kispert is not going to play in that Cavs series, and that might have been what they were trying to find out because there are things that coaches are trying to figure out that like they're not necessarily going to publicize. And like I'm not if people think I truly do not care if Corey or Zach play because it's the ninth man and it is like for 7 minutes and truly tonight it was neutral minutes and like I don't know that
and
Zach
like,
was going to stop Donovan Mitchell either. And to your what you kind of mentioned it earlier that Kispert he's not going to mess up the offense like when he's out there he understands like he can dribble the ball and hand it off on time and all that stuff so it's less destructive to have him out there offensively. And in a game like that, when you're especially if you're playing Moji, playing Zach and Mo at the same time, I'm not sure if Quinn was wanting to do that, but Kispert, Zach has all these moments, man, where it's like I'd say a lot like he's a funny player because you have these like Monty Python like
he's
blooper
goofy.
moments, like
He's goofy.
and this is a playoff game, and so I understand a coach going with the guy that's not gonna have any of those moments on offense. Like he and Zach could potentially both get cooked on defense, right? That's gonna happen at some point. Like, but on offense, I really need this guy to not mess up our possessions against a team that is like difficult for us to score against. So I understand him going with trying Corey tonight, and it didn't work. And he might try it again in game one. And that happens in playoff series too. The first couple games are experimenting until you figure out like what works, right? Whoever wins game one, the other team got to make an adjustment. And we'll see what the adjustment is going in. It's kind of fun that they kind of have a mini playoff series right before the playoffs to kind of practice those type of things. This team does have to practice that. But yeah, I'm not big. I don't have a strong opinion in the Corey versus Zach camp. I think they're both like seventh, eighth, ninth men, varying degrees depending on how good the team is. And if Quinn wants to play Zach or for 10 minutes or Corey for 10 minutes, I am not gonna really have strong feelings about that. I know some people do. I don't have an agenda either way. Whatever happens. I just want the Hawks to win the game at the end of the day. And when Corey was in, I was definitely paying attention to the score and what was going on. I think we had a run while he was on the court, and I think we gave up some points to even it out. So it kind of is what it is, man. Look, Zach has to really figure things out and get it and be consistent because that's the big thing about being a pro is being consistent, and they just kind of don't know what they're going to get from him from time to time. And I think there was a possession last game that honestly, if Quinn didn't want to play him tonight, I'm thinking it might have been that one because he had the ball in the corner and just held it for way too long, like completely disrupted.
He should have shot it.
They took him out.
The possession where he should have just shot that thing immediately. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And you just waited. Look, I've always said this about Zach. Just shoot it, man. I don't care where you are on the floor because his handle and he's indecision. Be aggressive and shoot it, man. I respect that more than like the weird like situations he gets himself into when he's like holding it and trying to beat a guy. Like, man, just get it up. But yeah, Quinn didn't play him today. I don't know if he was sending a message or if that was just a matchup thing. We'll see what happens next game. I was saying that this was kind of going to happen as the playoffs got closer anyway, as the rotation got tighter and tighter. 8th and 9th men, man, they're rest guys, bro. Like the top 6, 7 guys are playing, and those last 2 guys are just out there to give these dudes a blow.
Right.
Because they're resting each other, but at some point you're gonna have to have 3 bench guys on, so they like have to play them. And that's really all it is.
I do want to get into this now because, like, I feel like before we, like, how am I trying to say this? Like, do you think the Hawks maybe, too reliant? This is probably the way to put it. Like, too reliant on their starters to be for the playoffs. I don't know if that's, like, probably dumb to say, honestly, but, like, I feel like especially during these last few weeks, because obviously I don't think the bench has been like really that good. I mean, Kuminga, I think, played a really good game today.
He went off today.
He went off today. He closed the game. He went off today. But like, I don't think the bench has been like really that good, like overall, like over like the last few weeks. So I just think that a big fear I have is that like we're just super reliant on just Nickeil Alexander-Walker and just CJ McCollum just going off, and that's basically it. And if one of them just have a really bad game, then it's basically over for the team. The game is basically over because I just think the bench is just way too inconsistent offensively.
That's a lot of teams. I think what happened with the Hawks was the guys that were coming off the bench are now starters.
Yeah.
And the bench minutes for the Hawks are mostly about defense right now and just like kind of extending that wing defense and buy some time for the starters to get back in. They have been the team, I think, that's pushed their 5 starters the most minutes all year. Yeah. That's like clearly been like a strategic thing. And I know that might sound like simplistic, but like it's been by like specific design that they are like making sure that their 5 guys get as much time on the floor together as possible. They're playing
their best lineups possible to extend their leads.
Yeah, exactly. And because of that, the bench now they're getting squeezed. All the talents at the top, and JK is really the only guy on the bench that can go get his own offense. Like Gabe Vincent is having to take a bunch of jumpers for us right now, and that's like not really his role on a team.
Because my thing is that like Jonathan Kuminga can be like inconsistent at times, I know you love Jonathan Kuminga, but I think you get, and even like I have my criticism, but even like we know he can be like inconsistent. We already know about Zach, like Gabe Vincent, like we know he's not gonna make his jumpers like. That's my main concern right now, right? It's just it can be very up and down. Like I don't know.
You are right to be concerned because the bench isn't that great. The depth for the Hawks is better than it has been in a long time, but that's a really low bar. And we were trying to talk. We were having this conversation earlier in the group chat about which team was better between this team and the 21 team. And I said the 21 team had a higher offensive ceiling. And I think they had 2 players that were probably better and more consistent than anybody on this team at that time, right? In Trey and Clint. And they also had Bogey, who they had guys that were like really lighting it up. But this team offensively can be up and down. It's really transition reliant, and they're more defensive, right? So it's a solid regular season strategy because you're going to blast anybody that's worse than you. And some of the teams that are better than you, it's really shooting variance night to night and matchups, and you can win some of those games and you're going to lose some of those games, but you're not going to get blasted every night like the bad teams are by those teams, right? And if you look at the standings, right, it's going to be like this almost every year. The top 4 teams have winning record against teams that are 500 or better, right? And we are in the rest of the group that's like 19, 18 wins against those teams. And the Hawks are competitive because they can defend, but the offense just kind of lacks a little bit of that juice that you need to beat good teams. And that's what, like, when Trey was dropping 40 balls and like 15 assists, and then you had Clint Capella getting 15 rebounds, like, right, you had guys that were like really bringing it every night. And Jalen is still trying to get there. CJ is a little bit older, and Na is like also kind of like in his breakout, but he's not a true ceiling raiser. He's a really good shooter, but for a guy like Trey was getting like 14 and 15s and stuff, like, you know, or 40 and 15s. And he's not like a big playmaker. We kind of joked about that in the space earlier. So the offensive ceiling is like kind of mid for this team, but their defense has been really solid. And when they can rebound the ball and have a rebounding advantage, I think they can beat anybody. But when they don't and they can't get stops, right, then you're going up and down with a team like this. It's going to be difficult. And that team was getting to the free throw line constantly. So we just really couldn't get in transition and run, which is really where this Hawks team can go up. And I think both runs they had, because they were getting stops and they were finally running, but then the whistles came out and it slowed everything down. I think the Cavs last 7 minutes, there was just nothing but free throws. So
basically we need something. We need more help in the half court.
Yeah, it's that half court juice. I think CJ had brought a lot that the Hawks needed, right, in terms of ball handling and pull up talent, because I think we were like last in the league in pull up talent before him. Because Trey wasn't playing at all. And to Trey's credit, like, I know he gets the chucker label, but he took nothing but pull up threes, which is like the hardest shot there is to take. And they're off the bounce, like deep threes. And we didn't have anyone that could really take those shots. Na has kind of stepped up to take some, but CJ and Na are like the only guys. And CJ doesn't get to the free throw line, which is like kind of the big issue with him having the ball as much as he does, because he's not a huge playmaker and he doesn't get to the free throw line. So when the jump shot isn't there, the offense is just like there's a huge crater. And tonight, the jump shot didn't fall, and he had no way to really manufacture points. Jalen didn't really have a way to get to the line or get any baskets. So the offense just stalled and couldn't hit the ceiling they needed to beat that team. JK tried to fill in the gaps a little bit, but down the stretch without Jalen and Dyson, it was really just CJ pull up, and the shot wasn't there.
Yeah, just you just have to pray he makes it, and if he doesn't,
which it sucks, because in a playoff series, right, when you're talking about, like, I know basketball isn't all numbers, but the way he plays is why, like, can be a playoff dropper, because it's so jump shot reliant, and like you're super shooting. You're going to be hot one night. If you're cold at all and you don't get to the free throw line, you're just not giving anything to your team.
You're useless.
Yeah, and it's just rebounds to the other team, and they're getting out and running, and it's basically a turnover. So CJ not having that physicality to his game and stuff. That's why it's nice having JK bring that a little bit off the bench. Tonight, he was getting to the rim early. The midi was falling for him. He was really aggressive. Down the stretch, I don't know if they just like kind of went away from him. It was tough because they got back in the game, and then your best two guys fouled out. And it's the guys that run your offense and that really run it, because CJ is like kind of a release valve for everybody in the offense. He's kind of found a way to like fit in with the guys. And Jalen, I said he frees us from tyranny. I know there's the dictator talk, right? But Jalen having the ball, right, stops the guards from being the guards, and they have to like play within the team structure. But without him as that like fulcrum and that pivot for everybody, they really just kind of they went free, and it was just JK or CJ kind of pretty much like a lot more CJ than JK, but like just take turns. You know, the offense didn't really flow after they were losing their playmakers.
Yeah, it's just really unfortunate. Like, man, I'm just really, really, really hoping. I discussed this with you before, like we even recorded this. Like, the doomsday scenario is like, I don't think it's gonna happen at all. But like, the doomsday scenario of us just losing the Cavs game and the Heat game is like, that would be like the single worst thing that could happen. Like this has been a
To
really
fall
good
into
season so far,
the
considering
play-in.
everything.
You
But
know who
like,
that happened to last year? The
ooh,
Grizzlies. I think they
oh
lost
yeah,
like
oh
their
yeah,
last two games, and they
oh
went from
yeah,
like the
yeah.
4 seed to the
See,
play-in game.
like yeah, it's just, man, I don't, I really don't think it's gonna happen. I really don't, considering like we have a lead, like we have a 2 game lead with against the Hornets, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like the Raptors, I mean, they could lose against the Heat, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I I don't know, man. It's
I
just
think the good thing about it, right, is that they control their fate, which
yes,
is one of the cliches that coaches always use, but it's like a real thing. You want to be ahead. Like you get the lead in a game and you're more comfortable just being having a game in hand or half a game in hand. There are multiple scenarios for us to not be in the play-in, right? There's different ways for this cookie to crumble. So if the right teams win or lose, right, we could still get some help, but you don't need the help. You can go out and win it. And what I'll say for this team, I've said all year, and we've had a lot of these talks ourselves, wink, wink, guys. But this is a competitive group, and one thing they've done is really step up, man. And I think losing this game and knowing that if they need to win a game to win the division, I would expect them to come out and play really, really hard. It's kind of similar to when Houston messed up our streak, right? And they lost the game. They came out
yeah,
and beat us, and Leon was like, "There's no way we're going to win this game." I think the Cavs likely exhale, and the Hawks are clenching fists right now, I would hope.
yeah,
And I think the guys come out and play hard.
yeah. Because I mean, I know for a fact the Heat are gonna play all their guys. That
Yeah, yeah.
that's
They're
100% is
tryhards.
gonna happen. They're, yeah, they're gonna try and beat us.
Mm-hmm.
That's who they are. The Cavs are interesting because I had no clue if they decide that this is just who they're just that's where they're gonna be in the standings. I actually probably need to check that real quick.
Can they move up or down? That'll probably
Yeah,
decide it more or not, or more or less. Because some teams do duck teams if they can sometimes, um, depending on where they're at. So I'm not sure what the
they're
Cavs strategy is.
they're half a game behind the Knicks.
Yeah,
Oh, oh. They may try and go for it to go for
yeah.
the third seed.
I mean,
That's scary.
the thing is, it's just hard to beat a team twice in a row for one.
Yeah,
There's a lot of, I mean, obviously this is real life, and
yeah,
we're just talking, but this is a team that does step up. They're really competitive. I think Jalen's probably upset about what happened. I think
yeah.
the Hawks should try some things in this game. I don't know if it'll be vanilla to try to save something from the playoffs. I don't know if they're playing chess, right? I'm thinking checkers right now, and I just think that they probably come out aggressive and really try to win this game. The Cavs are in a better spot, so I don't know that they'll be as thirsty. Um, yeah, I think we match up with them in general. It sucks, man. I think if we had Jock Landale, you really put that team in a worse position because Onyeka would be more fresh and you just get a little bit more shooting. Jock, I feel like Jock like hits a three like every game, you know? He just
Yeah.
always gets that one from like the elbow above the break.
I will say I thought Mo did really good tonight.
Mo played really well.
Yeah, really
yeah,
good.
man, dude.
This is one of his
It's
best
great.
games.
It's just for Mo, he's playing out of position because he's supposed to be able to just be a forward. But when we're playing him at center, Mobley's a little bit longer than him, and Allen is like a different weight class, and that's like kind of
He's just
the
skinny.
yeah, exactly. He's basically a small forward, man. He's like as skinny as Zach, but he doesn't have the game. But defensively, man, he's just a nightmare for teams to try to score against. And look, we're 18 for 18 around here, bro. Like always, that's our mission. He was almost there tonight. He got 16. Hopefully, he's in the playoff rotation, man. Look, if Quinn Snyder is really about winning, right? The bench is just about locking. And you just bring in Gabe, JK, and Mo to lock. Like you can buy minutes to rest your guys for a little bit. I wish they had Jock just to space it and rest Double O for like, I don't know, 20 minutes. If you can
Just
buy it.
just give us 10.
Yeah.
10 or 15. Just give me a sweet 10.
Yeah,
But
something.
Goga
But
Batase had to be awful.
man, and they're salty, bro. I know they're salty. I know that team doesn't like us. And the Hawks have lapped them now. And that was a team that had lapped the Hawks before, and then they made a big trade. Like you've got teams that have made big trades in the East, and the Hawks like haven't been one of them recently. It's interesting.
Yeah.
They're in a really good position considering that. If they do make a couple moves, they could take the lead back from the teams ahead of them. But yeah, you've lapped them. They don't like us, man. They were gonna try something. I was wondering when Quinn was gonna pull the guys. I wanted him to pull them earlier.
Yeah, it's just I don't know, man. I'm just looking at the standings right now. It's just all I know is that basically before I get to this next question, it's like that Cavs game is probably a must win. That it's literally the definition of must win. Because if they don't win that, then I'm just I don't know. That's with that Heat game is we're in scary territory.
Well, I mean, the Heat is not the same matchup it's always been with the Heat.
Yeah.
I think it's different, and Spo will have to come up with a different strategy. I think Quinn got hired here basically because of what the Heat did to us, and then he did beat them in the play-in that year. So you know that's basically what this is. It's an early play-in game it's a play-in to play into the playoff. Top seed.
The play-in to play in to play it.
Yeah, I mean, look, if the league was scripted, like Adam Silver, like really nailed the Hawks storyline this year because like these last few games are pretty much historic for like the recent history of the franchise, right? They have a chance to finally get out of the play-in. They're playing the Cavs and then the dreaded Miami Heat to end the season, and they just have to win one of those two games to clinch a top 6 seed. And it came down to the wire. It's perfect scheduling. Like if Adam Silver actually drew that up, right, or whatever computer program did it, like, good job.
Man, I'm gonna have to talk to that script writer later on.
You just have to remember, man, this wasn't the season, right? And I know it's like that folly that a lot of teams make, like, oh, we'll be back here. But it's not like the Hawks have made a run yet, right? It's like,
yeah, you're right.
This is really a legitimate step one for them. Like they finally like kind of got over that hump a little bit. And I think they have a full clip, bro. They got a full clip, and they have an aggressive GM. They have a really smart coach that has like consistently added new players to his program in the last few years that have like taken off. And I'm really interested to see what Ansi can do with that this summer.
Yeah, me too. I think I know we can't talk about the all season. I mean, we can. I mean, it doesn't matter. But like, it's gonna be really interesting to see what they do with this offseason either way, with no matter what happens during the playoffs. But for this question, I do want to ask you now. So, Pistons, Celtics, Knicks, Cavs. In that, I mean, from those 4 teams, I just want you to rank them. Like, which ones do you think will be the best matchup? You just rank them.
Probably the opposite of what you just said. I told you the Pistons. God. I told you all the Pistons were like the team I dreaded the most last offseason. I thought the Magic would be a little bit more, but you know, their coach. I think they're probably a coach away from kind of being more competitive. I'm not sure. Like the group is bad.
I don't know.
I'll get back to the question. Pistons is the worst possible matchup in the world for us because they have Asar Thompson who could legitimately probably ruin a series for a team defensively. And then they have like a smaller Asar Thompson and Ron Holland, who is really strong and aggressive. You got Jalen Duren, who is basically like Black Panther compared to Double O. And I don't like that matchup. Like, Cade doesn't have a lung, right? So maybe Dyson can like hit him a few times and like rock him, but no, I don't want that matchup. Boston also has crazy offensive ceiling. I don't want that matchup. They can go off. Though I do think the Hawks match up better with them than they had in years past, especially at the guard position. It's just with Tatum and Brown. Maybe Tatum doesn't have the stamina for the playoffs, so I would say that would be third. Knicks would be next, just because we have a guy that can give Brunson issues. Brunson's one of the best tough shot makers in the NBA, and it doesn't matter what defense you give him sometimes, but you can make him work for it, and you don't give him open threes. And I think Dyson does make him work for it. It's been really competitive with them. So yeah, I would go them. But yeah, the best matchup for us is legitimately the Cavs, man. And what it is the fact that Jalen is so good that he he can shift their defense if we can get him going, because they're going to have to put Mobley on him, but we have to get Jalen going to really kind of mess what they're doing up. Because if they can keep Mobley and Jared Allen and help all game, it's going to mess up our drives. But if Jalen can force them to put Mobley on him because he's cooking their guys, then we have a really good chance. And I think defensively, we have two guards that run 6'5", 6'7", and both their guards are 6'3". If they let us play with some physicality in the playoffs and don't blow the whistle all night, I think they're going to have to hit some really tough shots over guys that are going to make them work. And I think that's the matchup you want. Just from a physicality standpoint, athleticism, I think we have the advantage on the wings. I think JK kind of showed tonight that he's a bad matchup for them. So I like them in a playoff series over the other teams, especially Boston and Detroit. I want them to get knocked out by someone else. That'd be nice.
I hate how I asked this question now, because now I agree with the order you said too.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I just think I was originally gonna say Celtics over the Knicks in terms of like I think matchup difficulty, but it's like if Tatum is healthy, I think it's gonna be really difficult. Let's just if you remove Tatum from the Celtics, so let's just say Tatum was out, it was just Jaylen Brown, Derek White and stuff. I think I'll have it changes it a lot. I think I will have. I think it will be way easier for the Hawks.
What's crazy is they might be more dangerous now too, because I think Tatum is a better Jaylen Brown than Jaylen Brown is. Jaylen is super aggressive, and Tatum as the kick out guy is gonna hit some shots for them that I think Brown would have missed. So
I just trust Jason Tatum more than Jaylen Brown. Because I think he's a really good basketball player, man. Yeah, he's
fun to troll. He's like the Drake of basketball players.
Yeah, he really is. But he's really good. It like I say, if Jason Tatum wasn't healthy this season, then I think I probably will just honestly take him.
It's a marvel. It's two things, right? One, modern medicine has advanced crazy. I remember when Kobe got the first advanced Achilles surgery, changed. But now that it's advanced so much. But Tatum is also a crazy athlete, and that him recovering from that is and playing at the level he's playing at is really impressive. I'm not rooting for injury in general for players, especially someone
I honestly
I was worried. I was legitimately is this smart? I feel he could come back and just pop that thing again, because we've seen guys do that. So
I thought he was probably gonna be 100% cooked or something like that when I saw that. But I'm dang, Celtics could take the East again. It's crazy.
They very well could,
honestly. But yeah, it's I think it probably would be Cavs would probably be the easiest. The Pistons are interesting because the funny thing is that you mentioned that Cade is coming back. They have one of the best lineups in the entire league, but without Cade playing. It's with Daniel Jenkins as the point guard. So I wonder how much Cade is even going to play in the playoffs. right now.
The first
That's
series,
interesting.
right? It's going to be 1-8 or 1-10 or 1-9 or whoever
Yeah,
comes out playing. So they're
like
going to have an advantage in that series, and they'll know
uh
what their matchup is, right? So they might rest Cade or they might ease him back in. Game one will be interesting. If they rest
yeah,
Cade and win, then he might not come back that series at all.
yeah, because like they played really good without Kate.
It's a
Like
really
they
good
literally
defensive
almost
team,
beat.
man. It's a
Like
well-coached team. Shout out to the
yeah,
coach. I'll shout him out, man.
yeah,
That's a really physical team. They have an identity, and that's when you have an identity, you can survive an injury like that
yeah,
because you have something to lean on. They have so many athletes, man. And Duran is like stepped up this year, and there's not many matchups for him in the NBA, let alone
yeah.
in the East. So I think they could probably survive, man. But it does depend if they get like the Hornets. You get the Hornets without Cade, bro, and these dudes just are taking 63s a game in a series and shooting over your defense.
Yeah, I don't know. Like that would be a fun.
They might go 7. Like they could legitimately take you 7.
That would be fun. Yeah,
man. Yeah,
I do want to see that series now. That would be awesome. And the Knicks. Listen, the Knicks is interesting because like Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns. Well, really, it's just Karl Anthony Towns. I feel like it's just such a wild card, honestly.
Yeah.
Like
he's gonna kill us on the boards.
Like he's probably gonna kill us on the boards, but like the offense this year has just not been that good. Like this is his worst offensive year he's had since his rookie year. So like maybe if we do get him, like he may not be that good, but you know, the size is just that's gonna be a big problem. It's gonna be a huge problem.
Coming into the season, they were talking to Cat and they were like, "What's your role in the offense?" And he was like, "I don't know," like, which is not a good sign for a supermax player or whatever Cat is on the payroll. But it's a new offense for them, right? And it's similar to like when Quinn came in for us. It's that they have like veterans that have played together and a really, really, really good team. But they're still learning that, and I think they're going to get tested in the playoffs. It'll be interesting to see if they have all the answers. The offense didn't look great, though. They did have some nice they executed a few things. Cat has a really all-around game, and he's just been in interesting situations where I feel like if he was the main like scorer on the team, he would be near league leading scorer. Like he would be doing some crazy things. But as a like secondary guy, I feel like he struggles to fit in. And the thing that's gonna kill us though is the fact that he like is really committed to rebounding. Like he has decided he's gonna lead the league in rebounding, I think, this year. And then they have Mitchell Robinson, who also is like that guy.
Yeah, the Cat and Mitchell Robinson lineups could be like end game.
They might spam like in the playoffs, dude. Teams will like do some stuff like, and if you don't, this is why I've talked about like the center position for us and like how you don't want to be vulnerable because you run up against a team that, and if Mike Brown is literally willing to say, I'm going to ruin this series for the Hawks and I'm going to play Mitchell Robinson for 30 minutes a night, and I'm going to play Cat for 35 minutes, and I'm going to see if they can get a rebound in the compare. Like I'm going to see what they can do, and they will just not. They will lean on you, like, and I don't want to see that, man.
And you probably just got to keep doing it until they can
until you can stop it, until you get a rebound. Like, and the fouls, like it's going to be difficult. And Jock helps a lot just being big and being able to put a body on guys so that Jalen or some of these guys can crash. But without the bodies and then just the fatigue, it's going to be tough for Double O if we have to play the Knicks.
I'm going to say this, though. I know a lot of people hated his debut. I do want to see more Tony Bradley. I think
I don't have an opinion.
I just think that during his first game that he played, like he probably needs more time because like he hasn't played a game in like 6 months. So like I wouldn't be surprised if it was his first game back jitters. Like I think he's probably gonna be fine. in the long
Yeah,
run.
I mean,
I think,
rust and game speed. Look, this is the time of year where, like, especially the good teams, these dudes are oiled up and ready to go, bro. They're
yeah,
like
like
they've got a good sweat going. They're in a rhythm. They've been playing, especially the teams that are good. They've been playing well. And you get off the couch basically, and you got to come play against these guys. It's gonna be difficult.
it's like it's like Philip Rivers coming back to play
Yeah,
football
right.
again.
And
Like,
guys
yeah,
that I really dudes that just like come back from injury or like get off the
yeah,
couch and like can execute, man. That's a different breed because it's
yeah,
not easy, especially when guys are going well.
yeah. It's just if they need like a big man to like be able to execute, like other than potentially Mo, like Tony Bradley's the only option they have. So like they probably need to play him like the next series. They literally have no other choice. So
Yeah,
I do want to see him more.
Asa would have been. I mean, I know Asa's not ready, but the thing is, and this is something we've talked about, Quinn, not being like the experimental guy,
Yeah,
because sometimes like in the people yell, and this is why like I guess they think they should play Zach. They're like, oh, you need a 6'10" out there, and like he doesn't use a like. I feel like Asa getting an opportunity after Jock went down would have made some sense, but I feel like he didn't really play any commitments though. The Hawks have technically been in the playoffs for a while now, man. They've been trying. They have to like they're trying to qualify to not have to go to the play-in. So I get them not like going too deep into the roster, but
they don't want to screw anything up.
Because I mean,
yeah,
I know Ace is not like good on defense, but he has like tools that are good for defense, and he does rebound.
yeah.
And he gets off the ground at least, and you got a guy that's going to tip it out, and he can hit threes. So it was interesting that he didn't get any run, but you know, if it means that Mo G gets to play, right?
Yeah,
then I'm cool with it.
Yeah, I 100% Mo G playing always, especially right now because I mean we always support more defense here, and more Mo G minutes. So. But I think that's gonna be it for today. So do you have any final thoughts before we close this out? Because we're probably gonna do a podcast when the season.
I got a final question for you. Have you watched tonight's game yet?
Yeah,
have you liked the whole game?
Yeah, I did finish. Yeah,
so you saw all them Kuminga buckets then. Yeah. My final thought then was that I'm happy that Ant got to see those JK buckets, man. He was really aggressive tonight. He was attacking mismatches. There was one where he like took the dude down and hit him with a little baby hook. Man, it was clean. I need Jalen to work with JK's trainer a little bit this summer so that we can get some of the post work and some of the paint work, because Jalen needs that aggressiveness that JK has. If we could get them to like fusion like Goku and Vegeta, and I think they might be the perfect wing. So I need them training together. And I think AJ has the same trainer as JK. And I need the three of them training together this summer. That'd be great because we get AJ, Jalen, and JK. Whew, man, the sky's the limit. The sky's the limit.
All right. Well, let me boot you down from here.
What's your final thought, Ant?
My final thoughts are I hope we avoid DEFCON 1 scenario for the Hawks. Yeah. I cannot wait to give Kuminga this 3-year, $15 million contract. Auntie's gonna give him. It's gonna be.
We could get him on like a 3 for 60, a 3 for like.
I'm not giving
Kuminga for 56. Look,
yeah,
you guys are really trying to rob that boy, but man, I don't know.
We're robbing him.
We're trying to rob
that man is gonna be a millionaire either way.
That dude is about to give up like.
Well, we'll talk later. Buckets, man. That man is gonna get. He's gonna get 60 million or 70 million. Man,
boy.
Anyway,
JK.
I digress. Thank y'all so much for listening or watching Hard Knock Hawks. We will see you all next time when the season ends. Hopefully ends on a good note. Peace out. Good luck, Hawks.
Get your Jonathan Kuminga buckets. Get your buckets ready. Your JK buckets.